Welcome to this week's session with the Putnam County District Library. This week we are taking a look at Google Sheets. This is Google Sheets for beginners. So what we are going to be looking at is how, and what is so nice about Google Sheets is that it auto-saves. It's very easy to share, and we're going to look at how you create, format, some basic formulas, as well as sorting it and then sharing it out with others. So if you go to your Google account. If you don't have one, you would have to create a Google account. And then you always have over on your right-hand side here, all the options here where you can actually pick Google Sheets here. Or if you, from up in the menu bar here, if you simply type sheets.google.com, it's always going to take you out and it will take you to your Google account where you will see the previous sheets that you might have made, or you would go to the plus sign here where you would create a brand new sheet. There are these template gallery that is also available as well that comes across the top, and if you click here you would see the whole gallery of templates that are already available to you as well. So I'm going to go back here and I am going to open up where I have a Google Sheet that I already had made. This one is titled New. Before I do that, I am going to show you how if you go to where it says blanks spreadsheet to create a new one, you're going to get a spreadsheet that'll come up. Notice it's always untitled. You want to make sure that you would put a title in here. So I could put in, I'm just going to simply type in sample, for example. And otherwise, what you would end up with would be a whole bunch of untitled documents, which would be very hard to sort, find out which one is the one that you want. The one other thing that you can do is you can place a star. By placing the star, it's going to make that particular spreadsheet always come to the top and easier for you to access and find. So again, I'm going to just simply go back here and go back to my new, where I already have some data entered in. And what you would see is that you see we have going across, we have the menu here across the very top. Then down here below is my spreadsheet where I have my columns, A, B, C, D across, and my rows going down, 1, 2, 3. And then what we have is, for example, where name is at, that would be what is in A1 cell. This is referred to as a cell. So we have rows, columns, and cells. The first going across here is kind of like what you would refer to as your header. The nice thing with this is what you would like to typically do is freeze this particular row. And the reason that you would do that, I'm going to scroll this over here to the side a little bit more. The reason you would do this is because if I am putting data that goes below and goes beyond the number 34, for example, then I would lose this particular row. So if you go up here in the very top corner, you'll see an empty box. If I drag this down, what that is doing is that is then changing this. So I'm going to just go down here. I'm going to put a letter in here, and I'm going to just go ahead and put another one in, going on down, and notice what's happening. Across the top, this is staying. So I'm showing number 5 here where I have data, but this has been what is referred to as now frozen. I could actually freeze farther on all the way down too. I could freeze as many as I would want. So what I've got here is this. Now, the other thing that you might want to do is you might want to make this particular row a different color possibly so it stands out a little bit more. So if I click here in the very front where the 1 is at, I can go up here to where my formatting is, and I could change this to a different color so that it stands out a little bit more, and then it's a little bit more noticeable. I could do the same thing. I click again, hold it. I can change this to bold, possibly. I can center. I can do all the formatting things that you would normally do. The other thing that you're going to notice is I've got an email address here. Notice my email addresses are cut off. Now I could actually click here. Notice what happens is how I've got kind of like a double bars there. If I double click, that's simply going to expand that particular um, column out so that everything is visible to you as well. Then if we want to sort, for example, if we wanted to, let's say, for example, we wanted to sort by name, notice when I go across the top here, um, I actually get, I'm going to pick one here. Let me change this. I'm going to change this one more time here. I'm going to change this to a little bit darker color. I'm going to then change my, there, let's go blue. Because what I want you to see is how when I click here and within a cell, at the very top, what happens is as I get this little arrow. So if I wanted to say sort this alphabetically, I could click and it's going to give me all of these other options that come up. And to sort, I could simply go sorting A to Z. So what's going to happen is it's not being edited. Let's try this again. Let's go to sort. And notice what happened is now now it's brought these in, and I want to show you here as well. If I click here on 5, hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and click to where the 8 is. I can then very quickly and easily hit delete on my keyboard and take that information out. And I can also go here to edit as well and hit delete, and it's going to get rid of those rows 5 through 8. So now I have all of my information sorted alphabetically, the names A to W. The next thing that I'd like to look at is show you how you can use what is referred to as conditional formatting. So notice I have dollar amounts in here. If I click here, I can highlight this whole row. And when I go to format, I can go to what is referred to here as conditional formatting. And what you're going to see is over here on the right-hand side, it's going to pop up, and I'm going to have this where I want to go to color scale. By going to color scale, notice what happens. It is taking this information, it's looking, this is my default rules basically, and it's taking that information and it is putting the values that are highest with the darkest color, then, the mid-range, and then what is the lowest range. So that's how you would do anything that involved conditional formatting. And then let's say, for example, it would be important for us that we would want to possibly sum these. So what I'm doing is I'm going to click here and I am going to click at the very top here for what is C2. And I am going to go down the page here and I am going to then click, go all the way down, and I am going to say that I want to sum this. What I can do, one of the easiest ways to do anything is you can actually just type equals and then the word sum. Oops, I'm in the wrong spot here. Let's put this back the way it was at. Um, let's just put a number in here for now. I'm going to click, go down, and I can actually use the function key that's available here, or I can say equals and then type in the word sum. And what it's going to do is I've got sum. I could do the same thing with averages, count, whatever. You would always do equal and then whatever the word is. And then now all of a sudden what happens is I have my total, the sum of what is the value of this particular column. And then the next thing that I did want to show you was how, notice how I have these rows. I have dollar amounts as well as I have dates. With these dates, I simply could click on this particular row with the dates, and I can go again up here and I can actually change any of that information that I want to see in here. I can delete this whole column if I wanted to. Again, I can sort. Notice this was already sorted by the dates. The other thing that I wanted to show you is how if we go here to the dates, highlight these, if I go again to format, I have the option here of with numbers, I could change these dates and to the format and to the look that I want it to have. So I could make it be a different appearance of how the date would look. Same thing here. I can format this row as well. I can go format, I can go to numbers, and if I go to number here, or if I go down here to currency, and it's going to give me that information in the number, in the, what I want to say, the money format as well. So we've looked so far, how you label, you always want to make sure you title, how you create your columns and your rows with your information. You freeze this top row or as far down as you want in terms of this, the information you have, how you can sort your information, how you can change the format of the appearance for your columns, as well as how you can sum, you can average, and then also how you can use conditional formatting to change the appearance of your format rules that are available here. So that is a basic beginning to how you can use and hopefully find Google Sheets. The one thing that I didn't mention is the nice thing with Google is, remember, you always have the option to share. So if you click on this, notice it says private to only me at this time. When I click here on share, I now will have the option to have a link that I can share out with someone else, or I could simply put in, as long as they have a Google account, I can do that by just putting in their Google account. But I also can go to File, and I can simply go down to download this information. And so I could change it to any of the formats that are available here. So if someone isn't using Google Sheets, you could change it into the Excel format. You could change it, just simply send it as a PDF. Keep in mind, if it goes as a PDF, they're not going to be able to make the changes. Or you could do it as what is referred to as the CSV file, which gives them the option to alter that a little bit easier depending on what type of spreadsheet information or program that they have. So I hope you find this helpful, and I hope you enjoy the snowy weather that we're having here in Ohio. Have a great day.